Morning, folks. We're live. Give me a second to get 5x5 on my end. Merry Christmas Eve. Yeah, slow mode is now on. It's activated. All right. Looks like we're 5x5. How's everybody doing on Christmas Eve? I know there are not going to be a ton of people in here. It's Christmas Eve. I get it. There's a lot of things to do. I got to do some stuff here in a little while myself. But I just wanted to have a stream this morning because we won't be back till January the 3rd, in case you have not heard. Taking a little time off, but we'll be back and we'll hit the ground running. C over Lazy R Homestead was the first one in here this morning. Congrats. It's been V-Prep pretty much all week. I think there was one other person that beat V-Prep out all week long, but congrats on that. I am keeping it up. I'm keeping a tally back here written down. Homestead Homeboy, North Carolina, and Brad Brinkman, thank you for the donations yesterday. Had to watch the replay. I was not at home. Quickly, before we get into some mail this morning, American Airlines, and I think it's Delta Airlines, right? I want y'all to think back. Put your thinking caps on here. About 2 months ago, do you remember me sitting here saying, I have it on good authority, I've got intel on the inside, I would not be flying during Christmas? Now they're saying, well, it's because of the Omicron. No, it's not because of the Omni. This is a planned call out en masse, and it's going to continue to happen. I remember tomorrow. Thank you very much. So hopefully you took that warning and you're not stranded at an airport. But there you go. So I got some mail to go over this morning. We're going to do all kinds of fun Christmas stuff and whatever else y'all want to do. What's up, Niecy? Niecy's in the house. Okay, thank you. I did not see her there, Nana. All right. Oh, God. I'm getting old. Son, I'm getting old. This comes from, let me see here. Aloha Spirit. Thank you very much. Do you folks know what this is? It's pure CBD extract. I can make my own CBD oil with this. Thank you very much for that. And the letter. Liz, by the way, thank you. You know why, ma'am, and anyone else who may have sent anything over. I haven't been to the box in a couple of days. I may get up there sometime during the, the Christmas break because of family dinners. Aloha Prepper sent an awesome box of goodies. Thank you very much for that. The spam thing that's hanging on the tree, the ornament that I used for the thumbnail art, that's actually my tree, folks. That was sent to me as well. That's why I'm not showing it off. It's hanging on the tree. All right, this is from Ancient Warrior. Can't wait to read it. Starship Troopers, many of y'all have seen the movie. I've never actually read the book, and Ancient says, well, it's a little bit different than the movie. So now I'm excited for that. And finally, this comes from Judy. Ma'am, this is probably going to hang somewhere in the living room, to be honest with you. Check this out, guys. Is that awesome or what? I'm not going to regift any of it, Benjamin. We're going to get into regifting and all that, where your thoughts are on regifting. Not that guy. So anyway, are y'all sick of Christmas music? I'm not personally. I love Christmas music. My daughter's sick of it. We've been torturing her in the car. We'll turn it on and she's like, oh my God, she's just done with Christmas. She being a Grinch now, son. But the rest of the family is having it. Good morning, James and Millie, Weekend RVing. I sent y'all an email. It was late last night, but I did reply. Thank you very much for that. We the people, I can't stand it. Blame retail. So a lot of people apparently are sick of the Christmas music. Yeah, I'm weird. I could listen to it all year long. Now, I kind of get tired of, I think it's the Jackson 5 when they play, and then the Mariah Carey stuff. I do get tired of hearing those two because they wear them out. But if they mixed it up a little bit more, Lindsay said they start way too early. Here they start literally the day after Thanksgiving, they start playing it on the radio. Matthew Kitchens, that's okay, man. If you don't like Christmas music, it's okay. There's no shame in that. Flow Grown Homesteader, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody in here and everybody that's catching it after the fact. What's your favorite Christmas song? Mine is actually The Little Drummer Boy. I want to see, you tell a lot by a person, you know, about a person by what Christmas song they like, or if they're just like, I hate Christmas music. Absolutely, Pam, he is absolutely the reason for the season. Grinch. Christmas in Dixie by Alabama. Nan, I was just listening to Alabama. It wasn't that song a couple of nights ago. And my daughter was actually like, what is this? I think it was Love in the First Degree I was listening to, though. Silent Night All Day. Jingle Bell Rock. Christmas Tide. Yeah, and Halfway Tide. Okay, so this was a gift as well. It came with one of the packages, but I wanted to go ahead and put it on. And I had to pull up. I couldn't remember how to tie a tie. It's been so long. I had to pull up a YouTube video. There's one on there, like the top one is 8 or 9 years old or something. So I'm sitting here right before we go live trying to figure out how to tie a tie. So yeah, it probably looks horrible. Are you folks fans of New Year's resolutions? Do you have one? White Tiger yet? No. But I've got it written down. I've got several movies. I remember that email. I've got several movies written down to watch. I was finishing Hunting Hitler last night, actually. I'm on the last season of that. Double Windsor. I've heard of a Windsor tie. Talon, I don't know how to tie one. Nobody has a New Year's resolution. Well, I mean, that's okay. Yeah, you should want to be better every year. I'm going to try and drink more coffee and smoke fewer Churchills. But that's not really a New Year's resolution. I'm trying to do that now. I ain't waiting. Sorry for the all caps. It's okay, we the people. It's all good. I'll get emails. People send over 4 paragraphs and it's all caps. I'm like, okay, man. Joe Biden out of office, wouldn't that be something? Survive 2022. It's going to be nasty, Chad. Not trying to be gloom and doom, but it's going to be a nasty year. Benjamin, I have cream in my coffee this morning. Pay off debt. Nothing wrong with that, Chris. This was really good. Somebody sent this. I think it was on Patreon yesterday. What are you thankful for? Everybody should be thankful for something this time of year. I'm thankful that I'm still here, having dealt with the Delta and everything. To be in decent health. I'm getting up there in age and I still got a little sinus stuff going on, but thankful for, my entire family being healthy, being incredibly blessed, roof over our head and stuff like that. Yeah, absolutely. But it is a good time they were right on this. It's a very good time to look and be thankful because we're heading into another storm in 2022, I'm afraid. Arlene is thankful for salvation. Absolutely. I got out of bed. There you go. Sometimes, David, that's all it takes. Got out of bed. Healthy family. Absolutely. For the Lord and the family. Yep. For this community. I'm thankful, to be getting on here this morning and actually have people here. Outlaw Farms, thank you. I am feeling a lot better than I was earlier this week. I was never really sick. It was nothing like what I dealt with the Delta. That's why I think it was just sinuses. But I sounded terrible, you know what I mean? S. Davidson, John, you need some fire cider for that cold. Mames has a great recipe. Would that be, shall we say, Fireball Moonshine? Is that what y'all are talking about? For being a prepper, Mr. Ray. There you go. I'm thankful. Mame says I'm thankful for walking around picking up daisies instead of pushing up daisies. I got a question for y'all. Let's go ahead and predict it now. What will our society look like this time next year, on next Christmas Eve? What are things going to look like here in America and abroad? I'm in my mid-40s, Nick. Oh, it's non-alcoholic, Michelle. Okay, I've never heard of it. Fire cider. Revolution, JL says. Civil War, Nana. Hell on Earth, Steve. So in other words, Los Angeles. Flying cars. I'm doubting that one, I spy. Bad Boy Channel says Pure Blood. He's still going to be a Pure Blood next Christmas Eve, it looks like. Escape from New York. Marley's in the house. Good morning. Hard Candy Christmas, Uncle Charlie. Aren't these just something else, all these hard candy Christmases? Greg, good morning. Thank you. The sweater's actually supposed to light up, but it has one of the watch battery deals, and it was dead when I sat down. So, hey, normally there's lights that light up on this thing. More of the same overblown drama. BJM. Speaking Chinese, I hope not, Prepper Days. I struggle with English sometimes. But, yeah. So, anyway, Senator Rand Paul, y'all see this yesterday. He is celebrating, I think it's called Festivus, is what he calls it. Have y'all seen that? He's over on Twitter. It made mainstream media, but the headlines, but he calls it Festivus, and he does this thing once a year. I love Rand Paul, where he calls out stupid spending by the government and pretends to be thankful for it. And the top three, I wrote these down because I couldn't. Yeah, I can. It's 2021. I believe anything at this point. These three things were in spending bills this year, paid for by you and I. New York City spent $25 million this year alone to display art across the city. Let that sink in. $25 million. And people, of course, they troll him on social media and they say, man, you shouldn't be throwing stuff on. You should be upset about this. He's like, I am upset, but nobody will listen. So I'm just to the point where I make fun of it. California tax credits in the total of the excess of $2 million for residents to uninstall fireplaces in the home. If they have a fireplace, California, they uninstall it, they get a tax credit, and you pay for it. Love Seinfeld, yeah. I do too, man. George. George is the man. It's a beavering Christmas, Gio says. Thank you, Judy. Love the mug. It's a couple of years old now, but yeah, my wife got that for me. Finally, this one ain't ever getting old. This year, our government spent $465,000 of taxpayer money on a study of pigeons playing slot machines. Not kidding. They wanted to see how pigeons would react to slot machines, so they spent almost $500,000 of taxpayer money. Really. What kind of sunglasses do you have, Matt? These are ones I have on this morning. How dare they? Yeah, it's full, Uncle Charlie. Go ahead and go ahead and flush it out now. Did the pigeons win? I have no idea, Randy. He didn't mention that one way or the other. It's a Festivus miracle. Debbie's over here signed. We just spend money on so much stupid stuff. And it's not their money, it's our money. That's why they don't care. Truth Seekers, I have some Oakleys too. I got the, what are they called? The fuel cell, and then the other ones like I forget what they're called now. The standard, the gas, I think the gas can in the fuel cell. I prefer the gas can look, honestly. All right, so this is going to the coffee club, and this is coming also from Patreon. Now we're going to cover some Christmas questions and topics they wanted to cover this morning, okay? Polarized, absolutely. RPM, they got to be polarized for me. Joanne says, when is it acceptable to take your Christmas tree down? I think she's just done with Christmas. All the music's done got to her. When do y'all normally do this? My wife this year wants to take it down like the day after. I'm like, no, honey. It's etiquette. You got to wait until after the first of the year before you take the Christmas tree down. January the 2nd. There you go, Kelsey. Thank you. Easter. Somebody put Easter? End of January, New Year's Day. Yeah, first week of January, 12th day of Christmas, really? Before New Year's. Okay, so we're kind of mixed on this. I didn't put up a tree this year, Susie said. Also, so somebody sent in a photo or something. I never seen this done before, but I guess, you can do it. They just cut the tree top, like the actual top piece of the tree, and they staple gunned it up in the corner of their home. So they have more room for gifts or whatever, I guess. I'd never seen that done before. Good morning, Forrest. How you doing, brother? Supposed to be January the 6th, Nisi says. See, there's a rule book out there somewhere. I ain't never read it, but I've always heard that it's out. If it's fake, why take it down, Jan? Just leave it up. Just decorate it depending on the season, Good morning, Miss Cruz. I didn't see you in here. I'm sorry. Bama Jen. My cat is driving me crazy getting in the tree. Well, that makes sense then. Bernard is just throwing down a class of 21 beaverines. Somebody asked, what is traditional Christmas food that preppers eat? I don't know about y'all. Let me know in the chat. I eat normal food, like whatever people have. Typically ham. Sometimes there's turkey, but it's usually ham there. Mashed potatoes and gravy, stuffing, just whatever. Enchiladas, okay. So people are doing it different. Typical for me in my area. I'm not saying my way is correct. That's just what I'm used to. Folks. Ham and fixins, there you go, Sabine. Fruitcake, no, Benjamin. We'll get into the fruitcake. Ham, sweet potatoes, there you go. Those are awesome. Spaghetti. Rib roast. So, yeah, it looks like tamales. Izzy says, being Hispanic, we have tamales. So it looks like it's different across the board. Matthew Kitchen says pizza. We have an aunt that does pizza every year. And there's nothing wrong with that. Regift fruitcake. Oh, yes, we're going to get into this for sure. Spam, okay. Milk and hardtack. Scratch, I don't know. I mean, grocery prices have went up for sure. I don't know if they're up to the point where I'm eating hardtack on Christmas. Now, maybe next Christmas. Maybe we'll be there by then. Beaver taco. Denny's. Ink scars. Never been to Denny's on Christmas. I've been there plenty of times, but not on Christmas. But, I mean, the food's good. Gotta admit. What is your favorite Christmas food? They asked me what mine was, and they wanted me to ask the lobby what theirs was as well. For me, it's honey ham on Christmas. I like honey ham, and I like stuffing, but it's got to be done right. It's got to be a little crispy on the outside, and then I put a little brown gravy over it. There you go. That's my favorite. And then for dessert, I like cheesecakes, which I hear there's a shortage of. Who is it? Philadelphia cream cheese or something. They're paying people not to make cheesecakes this year. And I'm like, nah, we're still going to make them. I still like them. Leftover ham, French silk pie, wow. Giblet gravy and fixins. Just learned I really like fruitcake, white collar prepping. Tomorrow or the day after Christmas will be your day because you can walk in anywhere and they'll be 50% off. And none of them have sold because people have had them for 100 years already. Pumpkin pie, I love pumpkin pie tomorrow. Pecan pie. It's crazy because my wife, she always, God love her, man, she'll insist on making my plate when we're at a family dinner. I'm like, okay, cool. She brings this huge plate, this mammoth plate, and then she'll say, save room for dessert. And I'm like, how am I supposed to do that? Pecan pie is good as well. Key lime pie, Mr. Ray. I love key lime pie. I've not had one. Oh, man. I haven't had one, I think, since last year on the 4th of July or something. It's been a while. Oyster dressing, never had it. J.R. Cannon. 7-layer magic bars. Nan, I don't even know what that is. Never heard of that. It sounds legit, but I've never heard of them before. Mincemeat pie for my son. Well, there you go. North American Prepping yesterday. I don't know if they were joking or what. They said they heard fruitcake can last up to 100 years. I said, this can't be right. Can this method work for other food as well? So I didn't know what the shelf life, I had to do some research. I didn't know what the shelf life was on fruitcake. I knew it lasted for a while, or it seemed like it would. It's almost like the hardtack of dessert. They say up to a year in normal conditions. If you get crazy, if you want to go the extra mile and try and extend the shelf life of fruitcake up to 10 years, they said it will last. So I guess, if you're the regifting type and you want to regift it to somebody, you can do it for up to 10 years. It's definitely a prepping item, Little Miss Patriot. Yeah. And actually, I've had good fruitcake. It's not horrible. It just, most people use it for door stoppers or to throw at people and stuff. Yeah, exactly. Casey just said fruitcake is a door stop. The stuff is everywhere. Every store you go into, probably even during the Great Depression, people were not buying fruitcakes. They were passing on them. Oh, man. Soaking rum, good forever. It's something that I'd never thought of before. Like, what is the actual shelf life? And they say, yeah, any condition, nuclear fallout, this stuff's good for a year. But yeah, you can extend it up to 10 years. Who's going to go through the trouble of extending a fruitcake up to 10 years, though? At that point, I'm eating hardtack. Somebody was just talking about hardtack. Somebody said, mention homemade gift ideas and talk to the community and see what some good homemade gifts coming from preppers would be. For me, I think anything that was made out of wood, like, wood crafting and stuff like that. And I've had some decent leather stuff. Like I've had custom knife sheaths and stuff like that given to me, and they're really good. But that's what popped into my own mind. Candles, there you go, Chris Marie. That's excellent. I don't know why I didn't think of that. A leather gun holster. Reloaded freedom seeds. Steve, as long as you trust the person, that would be an excellent gift. Hot chocolate bombs. Soap. Handmade soap. How did I not think of handmade soap? I immediately go to knife sheaths and wooden items. Did you now, Robert? I see that. Coffee and water. Or what is that? Powdered water. You see that meme going around sometimes in the community. Powdered water. Yeah, here you go. Just add water. Somebody, forgive me, it's a nation member. It's somebody that's here. I'm subscribed to their channel. I was half asleep last night laying in the bed, and they had posted a video. They make handmade wooden duck calls. And I thought that was really, really cool. I've got some of the plastic wood cauls and things, but yeah, I was like, what? And they looked good, man. It sounded good. I'm like, does he sell them? Does he sell these? And then I fell asleep. So I'm going to have to go back and find that. I make personalized decorated Christmas cookies. And if you hear some moving around in the next room, that's my wife. She's cooking, Miss Nation. Hey, baby. Yeah. What are you cooking this morning?
I'm cooking, I'm baking.
I'm sorry, what are you baking?
Cake.
Cake? What kind of cake, sweet?
Cake, more cookies.
Red velvet cake. If anybody's ever, thank you. If anybody's ever had red velvet cake, she is working on red velvet cake. And I'm not going to be able to sneak any of that. No, yeah, you don't have to listen to everything. I didn't steal a cookie this morning. I got into them last night. Nisi Tribe, thank you very much. You don't need to send anything this morning, I promise. Thank you for that, though, and Merry Christmas to y'all. Vegan Passage yesterday. Speaking of cookies, Vegan Passage said, does anybody in the nation have homemade cookie recipes? And a bunch of exclamation marks. Does anybody have homemade cookie recipes? Busted. Yeah, Matthew. Busted. I posted a picture last night of them, and then I got into them and just told them myself.
I need a shortbread one.
Bernard, I did it. I got a canning set up. That is awesome. Yeah, though, Nolan, John, those cookies were for Santa. You looking at him, son? There's a Santa shortage. I'm just eating them in advance. I'm taxing them like Joe would do, like Potato would do. My favorite are nutmeg logs. I can post on Facebook. Yeah, please do that, Amelia. Thank you. I've heard of nutmeg logs. I wouldn't know how to make them. To save my life, I don't think I've ever eaten one. James Jenkins, would it be possible to have a page here to post things like recipes? What I can do directly after the live this morning is I'll set up a post here on YouTube for those that don't Facebook and stuff, and y'all are welcome to post, whatever recipes you want. That's a great idea. Thank you. I'll do that as soon as we're done. Pralines are the most awesome thing invented, Bama Jen. Potato candy.
Yeah.
You've had potato candy?
Oh my gosh. Yes.
She says it's good. I've never had it.
Recipe?
Huh?
My mom used to make it before she passed away.
She said her mama used to make it. Yeah, they're gonna be posting recipes, baby. I'll show you how to look that up. Santa is a beaverine. You got that right, Ink Scars. Oh man, if this wasn't Ink Scars, if this wasn't a PG-13 channel, I would totally do a shirt with nothing but the middle finger emoji just for you, so you could wear it out all over the place. Kip Cattle Farm wants to talk about ugly Christmas sweaters. Well, you're looking at one right now. Let me see here. There we go. I think that's a cow right there, son. But yes, ugly Christmas sweaters, I'm a fan, but only this time of year. I wouldn't be caught dead in one otherwise. What do y'all think about ugly Christmas sweaters? Peanut butter gravy. To crack, and I try it. Never heard of it, though. Matthew Kitchens, he is. He used to do me, Sandy used to do me so dirty when I was a kid. I'm like that kid off of Christmas Vacation. That girl, she's like, Santa's always giving me the shaft. Arlene, thank you for being here this morning. Sweaters are sweaty, Forrest says. Well, Rachel Kring wants to know, long-term storage, bulk cereal. Can you store cereal long-term? She said, can you use Mylar O2 absorbers? absolutely you can, if that's your thing. I don't personally do it, but I think you can extend it up to 10 years, if I'm not mistaken, through Mylar and stuff. If your family eats a lot of cereal, absolutely. For me personally, cereal goes too quickly. Once you open it, it's not going to last very long. It's not that filling as compared to beans and rice and other things. So I don't Mylar that, but yeah, you can absolutely do it. Grape nuts might be the exception, white collar prepping. That is awesome. I did not think, when I think cereal, I'm thinking sugary stuff like that. I'm not thinking grape nuts. Grape nuts would definitely be filling. Steel cut oats, yeah. And some people, Big Red, steel cut oats, some people, I guess, consider that cereal. To me, that's just oatmeal or oats. Jen Boyle, cereal is pretty good on the shelf unopened a year. Yeah, and it's pretty, still pretty inexpensive. So you can stack it and eat it throughout the year. It's not going anywhere for a year. I mean, if I'm being honest, the Mylar and the O2 absorbers and everything, you might actually either break even or start losing money at some point. Again, depending on what kind of cereal and how expensive it was. Yeah, Fruity Pebbles don't stand a chance in my house. The sugary stuff that's typically a lot cheaper, I mean, you're just wasting my lard. This is just my opinion. Now, as somebody said, grape nuts, that's a totally different story. But who knows? This is Joe's America. It may be $25 a box. Vacuum sealing. There you go, Mames. I vacuum seal Cheerios. That would be a much cheaper option, I think, if you have a vacuum sealer as opposed to the Mylar and stuff. USA Prepping. Oh, no, you didn't, USA Prepping. We can get in that in a minute. Merry Christmas from the wifey and me. Anarchy. Thank you very much for that. USA Prepping said Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I'm glad you mentioned that, USA Prepping, because I have an actual note from Bruce Willis right here. It's weird because it's on Prepper Nation letterhead, but it's a note from Bruce Willis that says, Die Hard is not a Christmas movie, son. I'm kidding. But listen, let me see here. Tamara, Merry Christmas to you and your family. Thank you very much, Tamara. So here's the thing. Some people say it is a Christmas movie. Some say it isn't. I say it's pretty awesome that it can be either one, because it came from a time when movies were meant to entertain and they weren't politically correct. And that's the most important thing. Some people can watch Die Hard and say it's a Christmas movie. It can be whatever you want it to be. The Goonies, some people can say the Goonies or the Gremlins are a Christmas movie. Lethal Weapon, I think some people say, and that's fine, but it came from a better time. Tilt and Rear, hype, thank you. But it just came from a better time. Now when a movie releases, it's almost like they're trying to indoctrinate you in one way or the other. And that's the part of Hollywood that really sucks to me now, compared to back in the day. So Chris Marie, never watched Die Hard. You should. It's a great movie. Bruce Willis, let me tell you why I like Bruce Willis. Number one, he's an incredible actor. Number two, he hates technology. He'll tell you this. Number three, go watch an interview. He's just he's like the coolest dude in Hollywood. He's sitting there. Some people think he's a jerk, but he's sitting there in the interviews a lot of times. He comes off as rude, but they're asking him questions and they're like, they'll push him. You don't look very interested. And he's like, I'm not. I don't want to be here doing this interview. They're making me do it as part of the publicity thing. Or I hate the internet, or I hate reporting and all this stuff. He's just like, he doesn't sugarcoat nothing. I love it. Six Shooters in the house. Good morning, brother. I caught your latest video. Where have all the real men gone? Excellent video, man. Excellent video. Bad Boy Channel, you're very, very welcome. But Kathy Lee Dean, yeah. So Bruce Willis did an interview, and at the end of the interview, he said, and oh, by the way, Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. But I think he was doing it just to get under people's skin. You know what I mean? So I don't really know. It's a good movie, you know, and it came from, again, what I would consider to be a much better time for filmmaking in Hollywood in general. OFC Nation, good morning, brother. Merry Christmas. Loved Bruce Willis in Moonlighting. He played in a movie. I mean, he's played in many movies, right? But I don't remember the name of this movie, though. But he played in a movie where he was an I want to say he was either a sheriff or an ex-sheriff or something, and there was a hostage situation, and he basically, the feds were going to kill him off at the end. He found out that they were involved, and it was just, I need to dig that movie up. I haven't seen it forever. He plays in that. It's really good. And I think he played in another movie. Was it 12 or 13 Blocks or something like that? It was really good. It was about a baker. Red, yes. No, Randy, I don't think it was Red. Man, what was it? These people did a home invasion, and they had taken some hostages. I think they were teenagers or something. Bruce Willis somehow or the other was involved in the movie. It came out around 2000 or something. I remember seeing it at work. 16 Blocks. Thank you, DH, is the other one. Hostage, yes. Hostage. It's a great movie. And 16 Blocks also. So, there's some Bruce Willis stuff for you. Casey yesterday, over on Patreon, I believe, just said festive will be nice for a change. Let's do something festive in the morning. 2022 is going to be chaos. It is. Not to be gloom and doom this morning, but it's just going to be chaos next year. Think about the past couple of years and what we've lost in the span of 2 years. Know that more loss is coming. Probably going to get flagged for saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think that we are at the point of endemic. I was just telling my wife last night, I think we are at the end, medically speaking now. I don't know that they're going to allow it to end. It is a cash cow. It is a great way to gain more power and to maintain that power. So I don't know if they're going to let it go in 2022. But as far as I think this thing, medically speaking, is pretty much run its course. They're talking about the Army now, and it doesn't seem like a huge deal. It kind of seems like a cold, unless I've missed some intel somewhere. Shelby Taylor, thank you very much. Merry Christmas. Bama Jen, don't rule out a smallpox outbreak. I'm not going to rule that out. But that's just not something that I want to throw out in a video, and I'm not going to do a 15 or 20 minute video on smallpox and scare people to death till we know for sure, one way or the other. Now, martial law, and or martial law style lockdowns, we could see that in 2022. It is definitely, Nan, that people are getting rich and they're not going to want to stop that cash flow. Even if we're at the end, these people, man, I'm telling you, they're evil. They will try and extend things out to get even more rich. I don't put it past them at all. Jen, yeah, nope. And some experts are saying Ami can make us immune. That's the thing. I think Ami is popping up because, and I'm not a virologist or whatever, but because it's been here for a while and because people are getting used to it, and you're going to see strains pop off at this thing, but it seems to be getting weaker and weaker. They keep saying, oh, God, it's spreading everywhere. Well, the common cold can spread everywhere. It doesn't mean it's going to shut the world down, Selling Prepper, Merry Christmas, brother. I appreciate that, and I hope you're feeling better, man. I hope not too long from now you're up and walking around and doing well, man. Outlaw Farms, yes, the media, mainstream media, they are the scare kings. Yeah, and unfortunately with the fear and all that stuff they push in mainstream media, there's a lot of money being made on the back end of that. Yeah, honey badger, Cold. All viruses mutate, exactly, Matthew. And I think that's what we're seeing now. I think we're seeing a more weakened state. And again, we said this last week, it's not going away forever. We're going to be living with this thing, but it could be, I think it's almost to the point now where it should be a background deal. It's just something we're going to have to live with. And now they're talking about the, I forget what it's called, the pill now that's been approved by the FDA. That also gets rid of it and helps deal with it. So I think we're almost out of the woods now. Are they going to allow us to walk out of the woods, or are they going to grab our hand and lead us back into the deep dark woods again and kick off another year of fear? I don't know. Papa's teachings. Brother, what are you doing? Tommy, don't be sending no money, man. Merry Christmas, my friend. Thank you so much for all the help this past year getting my channel up and going. Absolutely, man. You can email me anytime, brother. Much love to you and yours. And the same here. Truth Seekers, I bet that pill is, I see what you're putting. I don't know what's in the pill. I don't. I know they've been testing it out for a while, unlike the whiskey shot that they just threw out there. OFC Nation, I figured you were going to jump on that comment. The woods are lovely, dark, and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep. Oh, he's trying to put Nana back to sleep again. But yeah, I think that we're going to be led through the woods again, folks, unfortunately. TJKS's mom got a few things that they want to talk about. The most useful gift that you've ever received. Salvation would be mine. And then my kids. But the most useful gift, you know, if we're talking about a physical gift here that I can use, when I first married my wife, her granddad, like, giving me this huge toolbox, and he willed me a bunch of old hand tools, but they're some of the most reliable tools. You know, they're not Chinese-made junk. They're older, but they're functional. And it was some of the most common tools that you're going to need around the house. And I still have them. I call that the toolbox, again, which is huge. I call it the widow maker, because trying to carry that thing can kill you, son. AR-15, Mr. Ray said. Somebody gave you an AR-15? Hopefully it was a spouse. Otherwise, what kind of family did you marry into rolling like that? A talking crock pot. Tilt and rear, did not know those were a thing. Same here, came from my dad. That is awesome. Pocket knife. Chad Pickens, the gift of life. A weaving loom. What does that mean? What's a weaving loom? Something I'm assuming that you're going to weave with and crochet and stuff. I don't know. Crossbow and knife, hand crank radio, solar oven for Christmas, Stephanie L. Making rugs, okay, thank you. Funniest gift ever. Funniest gift that I've ever received. I gave a bottle of cologne away one year. Now, granted, it was Brute. Y'all remember the Brute cologne? It was in the green bottle or whatever. I gave away a bottle of Brute cologne in a box one year, and the next year, the person forgot who gave it to them, and they re-gifted it back to me. And I recognized it as soon as I opened it, and I'm like, I didn't say anything, but Brute cologne. Just because they pulled the re-gift on me and they got crossed up. And man, that stuff smelled horrible. I think I just threw it away. Weight loss. Come on. Walkie-talkies. Aqua Velva. Oh, yeah. A Barbie doll. I'm a boy, though. Oh, man. Yeah, at least get you a He-Man or something. Come on now. I got laid off for 12 days from my job. Yeah, scars. That's right. Brute is horrible. And I'll tell y'all a funny story real quick. So this is, oh my God, this is back when I hadn't been driving long. So I was 17, maybe 18. K-Man James calls. He's like, come over, man. We'll hang out, play some football or something. So I drive across town. I get dressed, drive across town. I get over there. He's asleep. He's, his parents are at work. He's asleep. I can't wake the boy up. And I done made a trip for nothing. So I got mad. I don't think it was Brute Cologne. It was Stetson. He had a bottle of Stetson beside his bed or whatever. He's still on that Stetson kick, man. And I just doused his whole pillow in Stetson, and I left. He said he woke up that night, man. He smelled horrible. Oh gosh. At least it wasn't Draknor. I've never used that, Amelia. I know what that is, but I've never used it. Which is worse? I got to know, Brute or Stetson, because I personally think Brute's a little worse. You got somebody an IFAC for Christmas because they're accident prone. Old Spice. Whew. My wife hates Old Spice. I have some Old Spice. She calls it Old Man Musk. Brute is way worse. Yeah. Brute used to come in the glass bottles, and then they switched it over to the plastic bottles and made it look like glass. Homestead Homeboy, Merry Christmas. Thank you, man, and thank you for yesterday as well. And all of Prepper Nation, be sure to give God all of the glory for what he does for all of us. Absolutely. Thank you, brother, and Merry Christmas. They're both bathroom cologne. Oh, English leather. I forgot about that one. Ugh. And my wife's even laughing at that one. English lather. I don't know if they say, I ain't seen that stuff in so long.
They say aqua velvet.
Yeah, Aqua Velva. Worst gift. Worst gift you've ever given. Okay, so. A what?
That card we got from my cousin.
Okay, so. The worst one, my wife says the worst one she ever got. Her cousin got it for. It was a $50 gift card for Carnival Cruise Lines. Thing is, my wife doesn't take cruises. She can't swim. She's never going to use the thing. So really, I threw you under the bus. So every year they gift it back to each other now. He won't use it. He's too stubborn. He'll gift it back to her, and then the following Christmas she gives it right back. The worst one I've ever given probably was 2 years ago. Okay, so I'm cheap. We were just talking about this last night. I was at the mall, and that store, Bath and Body Works, the high price, they're usually real high priced. I'm walking by, they got a sale going on. Everything's like $1.50 or $1.99. I think it's everything. So I go in, man, all the bottles look different. I'm thinking, lotion, scrubs, all this stuff. And so I'm buying it up. I buy like $50 worth of stuff. Got bottles everywhere. I talk them into selling me a basket that wasn't for sale. I talked the ladies into selling me that. They gift wrap it and everything. Got bottles in it. So proud of this thing. I gave it to my wife on Christmas morning. And I didn't realize it's nothing but hand soaps. There was no lotion. There was no body scrub. The only thing that was on sale was the hand soaps. She's like, honey, what am I supposed to do with 20 bottles of hand soap? So, yeah, that was a bust. Steph L., member for 2 months. Thank you for that. Merry Christmas, John and family. Thanks for all you do. Thank y'all for being here. But, yeah, I'm a horrible gift buyer. Horrible. Well, last year I did do good. Yeah, thank you, baby. But I had help from Patreon. Yeah. Brute gift set was the worst. Napalm would have been. I didn't even know they made gift sets. They got some balls. Brute Cologne got some balls if they're making gift sets. because that stuff, I don't. How would you explain that to somebody that's never smelled Brute cologne? I don't even know. It smells like pine oil, musk, and gasoline. Hey, Flow Grown, how are you? Box of ammo. There you go. And finally, they ask, do you regift? So, baby, I'm gonna throw you under the bus again, okay? Yeah. Totally. One year I said, I can't buy gifts. I'm just gonna get her a gift card or a few gift cards. Get her one for the Cracker Barrel. I know she loves the Cracker Barrel. Daggone it if she didn't regift that off. And told me about it. She's like, I went ahead and gave this to such and such. I said, really? But I try, yeah, Independent Marine says sounds about right. I try not to re-gift. Candace and John, Brute Cologne, great fire starter. I've never tried that to start a fire, but man, you ain't gonna start a fire with your honey with it on, I can tell you that. It might start an actual fire. Yeah. And it's cheap enough you could stack it for fires, I'm sure. I heard a bag of sunshine is a great gift, right, John? JDP. A jar full of sunshine. Yeah, it's got to be a fancy jar. Put a bow around it. Yeah. I thrift gift. Same. Well, see, Amelia, to me, getting something at a thrift store that's really nice is not the same thing as regifting. Because you're putting a lot of thought into that. Regifting is just like, you just hand it off to somebody else, No, if somebody gives me something, I try and keep it, Is Florida sand an acceptable gift? Somebody just asked. Well, you're asking, number one, you're asking the wrong person because I'm loco when it comes to shopping. I would think if somebody lived far away and there was not a chance that they were flying to Florida or they'd maybe never seen a beach in their life, yeah, get a jar or something, put some sand in there, a few seashells if you can find them, the small ones. That would make a decent gift, but I don't know anything about gift giving. John, we know somebody else who only thrift gives. Yep. Oh, yeah. Someone gave me makeup, so we re-gifted it. Outlaw Farms. Ain't nobody Arkansas living. I'm glad you're in here with the fake wrench. Ain't nobody trying to get no sand. I just wanted to say, brother, every now and then you'll hear me taking digs at Arkansas, but it's just the rapport we have. I love Arkansas to death. He's a cool dude. His channel is awesome, but Arkansas living reminds me of people that I know here. You know what I mean? Like he would fit in so well where I'm at. Because everybody's like Arkansas living. So if you've not checked his channel out, it's a really good channel. And Merry Christmas, brother. Night of the Living Prepper, Happy Christmas and Merry New Year to all. Thank you very much. And also Arkansas living sleeps in his blue jeans. I can almost guarantee it. James Jenkins, my mom is good at re-gifting to the person who originally gave it to her. See, I mean... Again, that's happened to me one time, and people remember what they've given, Oh, Brute Cologne. Who would have the audacity to, oh, it was me. Thank you, Nana. Oh, Amelia. John, my husband wants to know, who is your favorite, Hacksaw Jim Duggan or Hillbilly Jim? See, I was a Four Horsemen guy myself, Ric Flair in the gang. So I was in NWA back during that time, not WWF. Tell them. I don't have Ric Flair's hair. Just spoiler alert, I don't have his blonde locks. You sleep in fatigues? Okay, man. I sleep in my jeans, prepper trucking. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I've done it myself. Nothing wrong with that at all, man. The prepping preacher. Good morning, Merry Christmas, sir. Mr. Ray gave my brother-in-law a large rapper's chain. Are they called something else, or like when you go to the store, do you just say, I'm looking for a large rapper's chain, please? Chad Pickens, I sleep with jeans and socks on. That would drive me nuts. I cannot sleep in socks. I don't know how we got on this topic, but when I'm sleeping in the bed, Miss Nation gets mad because she likes her feet under we have an electric blanket. My feet have to be on the outside of the blanket. So I'm always untucking my side and put my feet out. I can't have anything on my feet while I'm sleeping. Skinny jeans. No, Robert. Homestead Homeboy gave a blower and a weed eater for Christmas. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's functionality right there. Ultimate Warrior was awesome, Susie. Chainsaws are really common present in this area too. So many people use them. Somebody put Stetson cologne in the seat of your jeans, and you'll never need to wash them. I have to sleep with one eye open. OFC, it's just like natural. OFC just sleeps like this all the time. Merry Christmas, Matthew Kitchens. Thank you for being here. Kill it and grill it. Good morning. How are you doing? Yeah, Amelia, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I ain't worried about the boogeyman. I'm more worried about sleeping crooked on my neck, to be honest. People love to give cheap knives. You 6-shooter, I ain't kidding you, man. When we're down in Tennessee, Pigeon Forge, we always stop at the Smoky Mountain Knife Works. And you can run into some good deals down there sometimes buying them in bulk like that. And yeah, I've given out plenty of, a cheap knife to you, like a $5 or $10 knife, might be $1 million to somebody else. Homestead Homeboy, I left out that I gave it to my wife. All right. Oh, Hutch Homestead. Is Hutch Homestead in the chat? If so, Merry Christmas, brother. Well, American Trucker, I don't blame you for sleeping in your blue jeans and prepper trucking. Man, if y'all are out on the road, I'm sleeping in everything. My boots, sidearm laid on my chest or something. I don't blame you at all. Merry Christmas, Mortimer. I guess I'm saying that correctly. Ruth, my hubby always gets to pick out his own gift. Do you hear that, baby? I should be allowed to pick my own presents out.
You did. You got nothing this year.
I got nothing. I got coal. Probably didn't get coal in Joe's America. She said I've been naughty this year. Well, folks, before we go, is there anything anybody wants to talk about? Christmas related, otherwise, pretty much anything goes at this point. Because again, we're going to be back on January the 3rd. Now, if you sign up for the Coffee Club and Patreon, there are a few short videos scheduled to drop between now and then. Nothing massive. I think one of them I did a tour of the thing here so y'all can see what I'm looking at right now. And vacation time, huh? Coal mines have been shut down in Joe's America. Yeah, Candace and John. what Joe Manchin, I think, right? Joe Manchin put the brakes on the Build Back Better bill, and all of the lawmakers from California are like, this is ridiculous. You don't know what people in West Virginia want. I'm like, no, he just got reelected. People in West Virginia don't want Build Back Better. They would like to keep the jobs they have. American Trucker, me and my wife pick our own gifts. That's pretty cool. Y'all see so much out on the road, though. Don't eat yellow snow. Yeah, show cards there. No intention on doing that. I don't trust Joe Manchin either, Forrest. He is a lot like Liz Cheney. Liz Cheney is a Republican that typically sides with the left. Joe Manchin is a Democrat that sides mostly with the right. But they're about their donors. They're about their money. I usually pick my gift. 6-shooter, well, that's because you got a python. And everybody's just going to listen to what you say, man. Yeah, that is right. White collar prepping. I didn't think about that. Voted to impeach twice. Never forget. Yeah. And it could just be that Joe Manchin, I mean, he's in West Virginia. West Virginia, for anybody that doesn't know, they're highly conservative. They didn't want to go green. They don't want Build Back Better. They don't want Joe's nonsense. They don't want Joe in West Virginia. And Joe Manchin's probably thinking, if I vote for this, they're going to kick me out of office at election time. So, he's a Democrat senator from a highly Republican state. It's like 90% plus. They keep him in there for a reason, and that's because he mostly votes the way West Virginia wants him to vote. Otherwise, they'll ghost him and put somebody else in there. Michelle, what's the difference between Coffee Club and Patreon? Not a huge difference. I mean, the Coffee Club, it's more stuff that's going on around here, and then Patreon, we're normally talking more intel and stuff that's going on in the news. But beyond that, I mean, it's just a little extra intel here and there. We can do that, yeah. Future Talk, Brian, the best straight blade knives. Yeah, fixed blade. We can have that talk for sure. Maybe do a folding knives and a full tang, the whole 9 yards. We'll get into that. That would make a great video, actually. Benjamin, the test kits could be a good gift. Benjamin, OFC Nation just put out a great video on the test kits. All these free test kits that are not free, they're going to cost the taxpayers a fortune. And I really don't want any part in any of them, to be honest with you. Muzzle flash, they want to lock down the protesters. Well, they might get some resistance if they try and do that. I guess we'll see. TQP, I'm in on the knives. I'm a knife guy. I am too. I prefer fixed blade all day long, all day, every day. I have plenty of folding knives too, but like I got pajama pants on right now, and I still have a folding knife on me. But I prefer the fixed blades. Yeah, no problem. OFC, it was a good video. I think I may have left a comment. It was late last night, but I may have left a comment about I'm here for the free stuff or something. Wrong line or wrong crowd. But yeah, nothing's free. I don't know why people don't understand that. Ghost says Cricut knives. Cricut, they make an awesome knife. They're EDC knives, but they're entry-level priced. You can pick up a decent Cricut for 40 or 50 bucks, and they're good knives. And so are buck knives. Matthew Kitchen says buck knives. MS, gotta need to know. I'm so late. How dare you? Speaking of the poll, I guess before we go, we need to talk the poll here. Are you guilty of regifting? 42% of you say yes, you regift. 45% say no, and 12% say how dare you. So I'm going to assume those 12% also regift. That's just an assumption on my part. SOG knives, Mr. Ray, they're good. I've got several of those, like the seal pups and stuff. They're a little more expensive on average than the crickets and the bucks, depending on the models and stuff. But yeah, they make a really good knife as well. Cherokee survival skills. You say about S&D coffee. Any coffee. S&D coffee, if I'm not mistaken, is what they use in most workplaces. Is that right? And like the institutions and stuff, the big packets of coffee. Somebody was telling me a while back that they had bought, I want to say it was 200 of those bags of coffee, and they got them dirt cheap, like on closeout for 10 or 15 cents a bag. And they took them home and they mylar'd it all together. But that was a killer deal. But I believe that's the company. Yeah, they make decent coffee. K-Bar is the only way to go, Albert says. K-Bar makes an incredible knife. More expensive. Some people can't afford K-Bar, even as an everyday carry. So, I mean, it does come down to what you can afford. Some people can afford, like we were talking with 6-shooter, some people look at a $5 folding knife or $10 folding knife, say it's a cheap knife, or a beater, as I call them. Other people can only afford a $10 knife, and it's a lot better than nothing. Amelia, Christmas is memories of dad sharpening knives on the coffee table. Before we go, what's everybody's memory? Like when you think of Christmas or the holiday season, what do you think? I'm thinking wood stoves, and I'm thinking the smell of food. The smell of food. And also, for whatever crazy reason, it has nothing to do really with Christmas. It's over there, but I have a Space Invaders machine. And I remember distinctly in the 80s, it was around Christmas time, it was snowing a little bit outside. We went into a restaurant. And again, back in the 80s, it was a smaller one, but they had a cocktail version, if you've ever seen the cocktail tables of Space Invaders. I remember walking in, it's back when you could smoke indoors, so you're getting hit with cigarette smoke, French fry grease, because they're making food, and you're hearing 80s music. Got Hall & Oates or something playing, but I can remember that arcade. And that's probably the reason it's one of my favorites. I don't know. My mother's cooking, Laura says. Permanent lockdowns. Please, no muzzle flash. Do not let that be your Christmas memory. Poker game. Scott, playing poker on Christmas. Getting up at 3 a.m. tomorrow, says. Christmas carols. And we usually watch, we were just talking, we haven't watched a lot of Christmas movies this year, not like normal. We usually watch Christmas Vacation, which is my favorite. The kids like Elf, and then my wife likes, oh God, The Christmas Story, the older one with the air rifle and stuff. Mary Clarksmas. Well, Benjamin, she's just in the other room cooking. You can, if you go to our Facebook page, I actually post over there from time to time, and our profile pics over there and everything. So you can see her there, I guess. And she better be cooking. Go in there and lay the law down. I think she's in the other room. She can't hear me. Oh, Sparky. There you go, Robert Moody. It's just a hilarious movie. I love it. And Home Alone, yeah. I mean, the whole family likes Home Alone. My kids have seen, what is that, Polar Express so much at school. They don't really stomach that one anymore. But yeah, we do the Home Alone. Yes, Steph L, we have a Facebook page. But yeah, we do. The moderators run the Facebook page, and I'll step in like once a week and comment or something on somebody's post. But yeah. So again, everybody that sent gifts over, thank you very much. And the ones that I haven't gotten yet, it's because I need to get my sorry butt up to the PO box again. But thank you very much. Honey Badger, fascist book, I get it. I'm not a fan of it myself. I'm usually on Twitter, which isn't much better, but I like to harass people over there. But yeah, thank you very much. Outlaw Farms, Miracle on 34th Street is my dad's favorite movie, actually. Well, look, I hope everybody out there in internet land here at Prepper Nation has an incredible, incredible Christmas, holiday, whatever y'all want to call it. Be safe. If you're traveling, be very safe. That can mean be safe while you're driving, have protection of some sort with you. The world is crazy. Spend time with your family. Remember the reason for the season. God bless y'all. I'll be back on the 3rd. We're going to hit the ground running with the live stream. We also have a brand new intro, and I've seen it, and it's awesome. But we'll debut that early January. Until then, take care. Merry Christmas, and God bless.